Hi, my name's Rob Hilton, Product Support Manager for Country Clipper Mowers. Today we're going to go over some general engine maintenance. We will start off by draining the oil and removing the oil filter, reinstalling the oil filter, and then installing some new oil into the crankcase. For specific recommendations, please see your engine's owner's manual or go to your Country Clipper dealer. To change the engine oil, you'll need the following items. You need an oil drain pan, a funnel, 2 quarts of oil, oil filter and filter wrench, and then either a wrench or a screwdriver to open the drain valve on the engine block. To drain the engine oil, locate the valve on the right-hand side of the engine block and turn it counterclockwise to begin oil flow. While the engine oil is draining, grab your oil filter wrench and remove the oil filter. Before installing the engine oil filter, apply a thin film of oil on the filter gasket. Install your new engine oil filter. Turn it clockwise until the gasket contacts the base. Once it does, give it another 1/3 of a turn to make sure it's tight. After closing the engine oil drain valve, remove the dipstick, insert your funnel, and add the new engine oil to the crankcase. Typically, this is going to be 2 quarts of oil, but please refer to your engine owner's manual for specific requirements. After installing the new engine oil, run the engine for a minute or 2, shut the engine off, and go over and recheck the engine oil level. Make sure that you have the proper amount of oil in the engine crankcase. Now that we have the engine oil and oil filter replaced, we're going to move to the spark plugs. For that, you're going to need 2 spark plugs, spark plug socket, wrench, and a torque wrench for reinstallation of the new spark plugs. First step is to remove the spark plug wire. Install the socket onto the spark plug and counter rotate until you have the spark plug out of the engine. Before installing your new spark plug, make sure that it's properly gapped per the manufacturer's recommendation. Insert the spark plug back in, retighten it. Make sure that you utilize the torque wrench to get it to the proper torque specification. Now that we have the spark plugs changed, we're going to move on to the air filter. The first thing to do is to remove the air filter cover and gently remove the air filter from the housing. Make sure that you clean any debris away from the housing after removing the filter. Pay close attention not to get any into the intake. Then we will grab the new filter and install that in its place. The last step in our engine maintenance is going to be replacing the fuel filter. What we'll need to do is remove the clamps from the hose, slide those clamps back away from the fuel filter, pull on each hose end until you remove that off of the existing filter. Take your new filter, but please note that there is a directional arrow on that filter and that the arrow needs to be pointing towards the engine for proper fuel flow. Install the filter onto the hoses and reinstall the clamps up on the filter.